Welcome back, students. We are continuing in Unit 4. We are on page 43. We are going to work on the science zone. The title is Lunar and Solar Calendars. Lunar and Solar Calendars. For this section, we're going to read about the different calendars and how the moon revolves around the earth, and then we will answer these two questions. So I will read it to you. As I'm reading, follow along in your book, and then later, after we answer the questions, listen to the audio and repeat by reading out loud. When you read out loud with the audio, you are practicing your speaking, your reading, and your listening skills at the same time. Very good. So, I will start here. Please follow along. The first calendars that ancient peoples used were lunar calendars. They are based on how many days there are between one new moon and the next, which is 29.53 days, the time it takes for the moon to go around Earth. This meant the lunar year only had 354 days. So an extra month was added every 4 years to align the seasons to the solar year. All right, let's look at this paragraph. All right, it's called a lunar calendar because it's based off the moon. So in Spanish, you say luna, and it's moon, but it's a lunar calendar. And if you look, it's close. It's almost a month. And every 4 years, they add more time. Just like our calendar, the solar calendar, we add an extra day every 4 years. Let's go to the next paragraph. Here you go, right here. Today, most people use calendars that have 365 days a year, the time it takes Earth to orbit the sun. But lunar calendars are still used in many parts of the world to calculate the dates of special celebrations and traditional holidays like Easter, Ramadan, Passover, the Moon Festival, and Chinese New Year. The dates of these festivals change every year. Ramadan and Chinese New Year begin on a new moon. Passover and the Moon Festival are celebrated on a full moon. The Easter holiday is celebrated on the first Sunday after a full moon after the beginning of spring. The date varies between March 22nd and April 25th in the Northern Hemisphere. So hemisphere, if you think about it, let's look at this circle. This circle represents the earth. The earth is a sphere. It is a globe, a sphere. A hemisphere is half. So when they say the northern hemisphere, they are talking about this part right here. If they say southern hemisphere, they're talking about this one. All right, let's go to the last paragraph. Now, here you go. As the moon travels around Earth, it is lit by the sun and appears in different shapes. These are called the phases of the moon. It starts as a thin crescent and grows to a full circle, full moon. This is called waxing. Then it gradually shrinks back to a thin crescent and disappears for a few days. This is called waning. So you have waxing, and waning. So here you go. This is a new moon. It's almost invisible in the sky. And then you have a thin crescent. A crescent is talking about this shape right here. That's why the French pastry is called a croissant, because of the way it's shaped. And then so first quarter, gibbous, and then a full moon, and then a gibbous, and the third quarter, a crescent. Look at the crescent is on this side now, and then a new moon. So this complete rotation around Earth takes 29.53 days. So let's answer these questions. Waxing is all right. What did it say? It starts as a thin crescent and grows to a full circle. So waxing is when the moon starts as a thin crescent and grows to a full circle. Very good. All right, now let's do the same with waning. Then it gradually shrinks back to a thin crescent and disappears for a few days. This is called waning. So waning is when the moon shrinks back to a thin crescent and disappears for a few days. There you go. Very good. So that's how you can read and use the information to answer your questions. I hope you enjoyed this little science topic about the moon. It's pretty fascinating. So next time you're looking at the moon, look up at night and try to figure out which one of these it is. That's it for now. Adios.